Hey guys, it's AkProFilms, your source for tech tutorials and more. And on this video, I'm going to give you my top 20 iPhone tips and tricks exclusively for iOS 7. So without any more further ado, let's jump right into this tip and trick video right away. Alright, so let's jump right into these 20 tips and tricks for your iDevice running iOS 7. So starting off with our first one, iOS 7 came with a parallax wallpaper effect. It looks really cool, but some people don't like it, so I'm going to show you how to turn that off. So first you want to go into Settings, General, Accessibility. You can see there's a Reduce Motion button. Press on that and you can turn that on, so it'll reduce in motion like so. So I'm tilting my device right now. You can see that there isn't any parallaxing effect, but you can turn that back on if you want according to your preference. So now let's go back and jump into our second tip and trick for your iDevice. We have these on and off labels. This came with iOS 7. I think it was new, I'm not sure. But you can turn this on to show labels in these switches. You can turn that on or off according to your liking. So jumping into our third one, let's scroll down until we see the accessibility shortcut. When you press on that, you are chosen with some options here. So it says triple click the home button for one of these options. So I'm just going to press on assistive touch. You can choose whatever one you want. So when I triple press the home button, you can see that the assistive touch comes up on the display, so you can customize some of these icons, like you can mute your device, rotate the screen, and so on and so forth. You can also turn that off. There we go, I turned that off. And now let's go back and let's jump into the Siri settings. So let's open up Siri and we can adjust the voice gender from male to female according to your preference. So you can either have the new male voice or the new female voice. So you can change those to whatever voice gender you want. So right below Siri is Spotlight Search. You can customize what items are going to be put into the Spotlight Search when you search for items. So I'm just going to turn off contacts and I'm going to turn off the mail option. So the contacts or the mail won't appear in the Spotlight. So when you swipe down to enter Spotlight mode, either on the second page, first page, or whatever page you want, you can search for some items. I'm just going to search for YouTube. You can see it searched for YouTube and it didn't bring up any contacts or mail messages. So let's go back to settings and let's just turn those back on. You can customize these items to whatever you may want. So now let's go back to the background app refresh. So when you press on background app refresh, we can turn this on, and this allows apps to refresh their content when on Wi-Fi or cellular networks. So when you turn that on, you can choose what apps will be using background app refresh. You can turn off or on certain applications too. So I'm just going to turn that off because that will preserve battery life. You can read more about it right down here about how it affects your phone. Alright, so now let's move on to the seventh tip and trick, which is password lock. So let's go over to password lock. I'll just enter my password there, and we can change the password to an advanced one if we want. So if you want an advanced password where you can enter numbers or letters or of the like, you can choose that right through here by pressing this little toggle right here. But I'm not going to do that because I'll take just a little bit too much time, because I just want to keep moving along with this video. But you can do that by pressing that toggle right there. So now let's move down to the allow access when locked. So you can choose what apps or services will be allowed when your phone is locked. So let's say we don't want Siri when the phone is locked. So let's just turn that off. And then when you use your phone, Siri will be disabled and people cannot use Siri. You can adjust more options through here as well. So now let's keep on moving on to this ninth tip and trick for iOS 7. So let's go down, let's go up to usage here, And let's scroll down until you can see battery usage. We can turn that on or off, so you can see the battery percentage up in the top right. You can see that it turned off, but you can turn that back on if you want to as well. And the next one I have for you is you can see right down here your usage or standby time. So for instance, I have 14 hours and 15 minutes of usage and standby 9 hours and 51 minutes. So let's just exit this and let's scroll down to keyboard. So in this keyboard section, I'm going to show you keyboard shortcuts. Keyboard shortcuts are a great way to write out phrases very quickly by using a shortcut. So for instance, I'm going to open up the shortcut tab and I'm going to write a phrase. Alright, so you can see that I am customizing this and writing a phrase. I can just do SUA and press save. And I can go to the notes application here and I can just type in that little phrase. Alright, so let's go SUA. And then I'll write out subscribe to AkProFilms. So that's just another great handy tool that you can use with your iPhone's keyboard. So now let's go back to settings here. Alright, so now let's just scroll down to the keyboard section, and from here we can add new keyboards. I'm going to show you how to add the emoji keyboard where there are symbols that you can add. So let's scroll down here till we can find the emoji and press on that and it'll be added. So now let's open up notes again and I'll show you what the emoji keyboard is like if you do not know what it is. So by pressing the globe icon down here, you can access some of the symbols. Like let's put this celebration icon right there. You can have that if you want to. So that's just another great thing to know on your iPhone. Alright, so now what we want to do is let's open up the camera. So on the camera here, we can actually swipe on the screen to change modes. So if we want the square mode, we can do that. If we want the panorama mode, we can do that as well. But you can just customize that and you can do that if you want to. So now let's just go back to the photo mode. We can turn on HDR easily with this little toggle in the top. By turning on HDR, we can improve our photos like that, or we can turn that off if we want to as well. And there's also a burst mode, but on the iPhone 5S it'll get you more frames in the second there. So by pressing and holding the shutter button, it'll take some pictures pretty fast. So let's watch. Alright, so that is just a little burst mode where you can capture multiple pictures pretty quickly. So now let's go to Newsstand, and we can see that Newsstand can be added to a folder now. So you can hide Newsstand away if you really don't like Newsstand, because I knew some people wanted to put it in a folder in iOS 6. But now you can do that in iOS 7, which is a great new addition as well. So now let's open up Safari, and let's go down to these two pages at the bottom. And we can open up a private browsing tab by pressing on the private icon right there. And so it'll open up a new tab for us. And there we go, it is opened up in a private browsing tab if you want to keep all of the history and stuff to yourself. And now we can also go back to the bookmarks. So let's just close out this private browsing tab here and just add a new one. And we can easily just move around these icons on the screen, which is a nice new addition as well. So now we're back into settings here, and what we want to do is go to Control Center, and we have two options here. One is Access on Lock Screen, and the other option is Access within Apps. So you can turn off that if you want to, or you can turn that on. You can read more about those with the descriptions here. And now moving on to our 20th tip, let's just open up the Compass app. There's a pretty cool new addition in the Compass. So now let's open up the Compass here. And we have the compass as normal, and we can swipe over and we can see we have a bubble level, which is a great new addition. And you can see the bubble level works very nicely, and it is very simple, so you can get things level by using your iPhone. So that pretty much just concludes our iOS 7 iPhone 20 tips and tricks for you. Hope you liked this video, hope you found out something that you learned in this video. Please comment, rate, subscribe, If you want to see a series about iPhone tips and tricks, let me know also in the comments, as I have gotten many of those suggestions. So just let me know what you think in the comments, and please comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Thank you for watching, and have a good rest of your day.